Hello, my name is Kiana Stewart.
My name is Freddie.
And that
Tian, and this is the Conflict of Interest podcast.
So the topic of our group, as Tian just stated, is conflict of interest. To give a definition, conflict of interest arises when a role or an organization that is supposed to be fair and non-discriminatory is influenced or can be seen to be influenced by private interests like relationships and personal gain. In relation to business, though, conflict of interest is when an individual's personal interests, such as financial gain, family and friend connections, and relationships, and other social factors, could compromise their judgment within a workplace. It's really like looking out for oneself and an individual interest and not the betterment of everyone on a team. Examples of this can include hiring an unqualified relative to provide services for a company's needs, failing to disclose that you're related to a candidate and you're in the consideration of a job position, accepting payment from another company for information about your employer, dating or having a remote romantic relationship with a supervisor or subordinate, things like taking advantage of confidential information learned on the job for your personal benefit, and even cashing in on a business opportunity that your company might have pursued. We chose this ethical issue because in the discussion of business ethics, this is a topic that is proven to be prevalent in many businesses on a small and large scale. By practicing forms of conflict of interest in business without resolving it can lead to a mistrust in the business and a lack of confidence in the business leader. By lacking in trust and confidence, there is a general lack of foundation in the business entirely. So the case study that we have chosen was one having to do with Elon Musk and Dogecoin. And the ethical theories that we'll be applying are virtue, utilitarianism, and the Nozick theory. The first task that will be, the first ethical issue to be talked about is virtue.
So to talk about more of the case study we decided to do was on Elon Musk, titled Elon Musk on his crypto portfolio. I only own Bitcoin, Ether, and Dogecoin. This study talks about how he became interested in Dogecoin after hearing it from his employees. He then jokingly joked about Dogecoin potentially becoming the future reserve currency and told TMZ, the currency that started as a joke, in fact, becomes a real currency to the moon, which became viral all over social media. Elon Musk displayed the issue of conflict of interest in this case because he marketed Dogecoin as a great type of cryptocurrency and a large majority of people bought into it. Dogecoin reached its peak due to the marketing of Elon Musk, and 2 years later, Dogecoin crashed because Elon Musk stopped marketing them. This means that the coin is now of little value, and the millions of people that invested in this coin lost money after the crash. Elon Musk used his position in the world to market Dogecoin for profit, exposure, and amusement. The perpetrator in this case would be Elon Musk for immorally marketing Dogecoin, while the victims are everyone who lost money after purchasing Dogecoin after Elon Musk's tweet. The ways morals are in conflict with profits or professionalism is because with the platform Elon Musk has, being one, if not the richest man alive, founder of Tesla and SpaceX, anything he tweets will go viral. Him tweeting Dogecoin is a people's crypto, or calling himself the Doge father, and saying Dogecoin would be accepted for purchase through Tesla or SpaceX is a conflict with profits and professionalism because he is using his platform for exposure and get the sales of his companies to rise. As Doge is an accepted way to pay for items, he also knows the risk that comes with investing money in the crypto market. And posting tweets on Twitter convincing others to purchase Doge is a conflict because there are many people who don't have much money at all, but still invested their money into the crypto market, hoping for a bigger return, but instead lost everything. And now we will talk about virtue.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the virtual ethics. In my opinion, I think this theory is the most important in this case. We could say virtual ethics is currently one of three major approaches in normative ethics. According to Aristotle, some feeling might lead our judgment based on your amount of indulgence in certain situations. These indulgence may be either too little or too much, depending on the situation. Having too much fears or too little fears, for example, is fall into this category. This mentoring process can enable us to modify our virtual ethics in order to not just ourselves, but also those around us and those who are affected by our judgment. Now we know more about the virtual ethics. Basically, virtual ethics in business is concerned with a person character traits depending on the circumstances. Therefore, in our case study of Elon Musk and Dogecoin, virtual ethics were not used. Virtual ethics in business encourages people to demonstrate virtues such as honesty and compassion in their work. Aristotle believed that ambition is virtue, but employees who pursue their goals at all costs may overlook virtue. We could see that Elon Musk is dishonest in this case because his attempt to break the rules. To demonstrate this, he indirect attempt to marketing Dogecoin on the social media platform, like he tried to manipulation of the cryptocurrency market. Some people may say he's clever to be able to do it, but this is already so about his dishonesty in his work by attempting to exploit legal loopholes. As a result, Elon Musk so that he can do everything he wants to get his goal. Now let's move on to the next one.
So the next ethical theory that we'll be applying to the Elon Musk case is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism takes on the approach wherein we must all conduct ourselves in a manner that fosters the greatest amount of happiness and causes the least amount of pain. In relation to our case study on Elon Musk and Dogecoin, utilitarianism was not utilized in approach in the dealings of morality. For example, to foster the greatest amount of happiness is to present to people what the truth is, and they can make the best decision for themselves. Elon Musk did not do this. In fact, he marketed Dogecoin not based on its legitimacy, but because he saw an opportunity for personal gain. Another example is Elon Musk's actions did not foster a great amount of happiness for everyone. Due to his actions, many people 2 years after investing lost lots of money in Dogecoin, and Dogecoin crashed because Elon Musk decided to discontinue his marketing. And our last reason is because to have the utilitarianism approach is to consider the good of others as well as one's own goods. If Elon Musk took on the approach of utilitarianism, he would have thought about the consequences of his actions in marketing Dogecoin. Elon Musk did not intrinsically believe that Dogecoin was a great form of cryptocurrency, but knew that by his position and reach, he could influence a great mass of people to buy into his investment. This was not in the consideration of the people, because once he stopped his marketing of Dogecoin, Dogecoin itself would crash, leaving many people with a great loss of money. The next ethical theory that we'll be applying is the Nozick theory.
And so the Nozick theory is a libertarian theory, and it speaks about this entitlement theory, meaning that everyone is entitled to any distributions if they acquired it through fair means, and that it does not put anyone at a disadvantage. And so this theory kind of take a different approach to the Elon and Dogecoin fiasco, because basically what it is that everyone is responsible for their own gain or loss. And so with the reputations of Elon being on Twitter, where Twitter is anything goes, if it's not too graphic or anything, it's not a well-researched comments or posts, it's just random. And so with that in mind, people still choose to follow whatever Elon says about Dogecoin or just about anything. And so when they do that and did not do their due diligence to research on whatever he says, they just invest in whatever he said to make a quick buck. And this is especially bad for late buyer where people move in a little bit later on when the crash already happening. And so I guess this theory is just kind of like, it's not so much black and white. Of course, Elon kind of like was irresponsible of his position, but the people who choose to follow his words kind of need to take responsible for whatever, and that like Twitter is not a place for, I guess, like value thoughts, I guess.
Great. So in our discussion of conflict of interest in relation to our case study, which was Elon Musk and Dogecoin, I personally believe that I'm kind of stuck a little bit on the ethical theories. I'm stuck between the ethical theory of utilitarianism and the Nozick theory. One, because in utilitarianism, the approach is you have to foster the greatest amount of happiness, no matter what no matter what you do to get that, you have to foster that amount of happiness, right? But then I also really liked how the Nozick theory is, whereas like it could have all been just on Elon Musk. Like, yes, he was very irresponsible with his position and he knew his amount of reach and his promotion and marketing of Dogecoin, but also not all the blame is just to be put on this one man. Everyone has their own right to make their own decisions, and to get all of your do all of your research on a Twitter app is probably not, the best way of doing things. So that's my personal opinion. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
I'd agree with you, the Nozick theory, just because I was one of those guys who actually fell for it.
Me too, bro.
Wow.
Same, bro.
I like invested money before the hype, but once the hype was starting to grow and grow and grow, I invested a little more. I could have pulled out and I could have gotten a good return, but I kept it and now I'm struggling. So.
Wow, that's so interesting. How about you, Tian? You said you did the same thing. You invested, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that much. I did like pretty early on, but it took a dive, and I made a little profit, but I let it ride out and then like sold it when it's like crashing, and so that's like took a hit for my whatever profit I made.
I haven't sold anything. I still have all my shares, so I'm just hoping.
Okay.
Well, how do you guys feel with it being Elon Musk? Like, he did have a great deal of like influence. Like, do you guys feel kind of like, wow, you kind of conned me a little bit, or like he's like, no, it was kind of my fault. It wasn't like.
I wouldn't put the blame on Elon, but I feel like with Elon tweeting it, and then there's on social media, there's a bunch of people saying like, oh, I'm going to purchase this, I'm going to purchase that. So then it feels like, okay, there's going to be a lot of people going to purchase the coin. So I might as well do it too, get a good return off of it.
Wow.
In my opinion,
I should go ahead.
Yeah. In my opinion, it also shows Elon does not respect his supporter or his future customer.
He doesn't respect his what? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Does not
his future
respect
customers?
Yeah, his future customer.
I can kind of see that because when he was saying that he was accepting Doge as a payment, I know everyone who purchases is now probably pissed off at him. So they don't want to purchase anything.
And to kind of touch on what Dad had said, I think it really is important in a business to prioritize like the future customer as well, which is why I'm like in line with utilitarianism, because you're always trying to foster the greatest amount of happiness. You know what I mean? And whether that's like a good decision or a bad, I don't know, because that's putting a lot of the decision making in the hands of people, and not everyone has like, is super moral and has like values, to like pivot off of. So I'm kind of stuck, but I do see where you guys are coming from. And I think I appreciate you guys' like perspective more, because you guys have, lived through this case exactly. So I don't know, I think I'll walk away saying that I appreciate the values of utilitarianism and like the approach it's trying to take in terms of like trying to always spread the most amount of positive and happiness. But I also think in the Nozick theory, it's like, oh, but you kind of are responsible for your personal gains and losses as well.
No, yeah, I definitely could have done my own research off of that. But.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're walking away with, kind of like walking the line, or more so leaning towards Nozick theory.
Yeah, I would choose Nozick theory. Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
What about you, Tian?
Yeah, same, because I was just an idiot.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go with Nozick theory. All right, you guys. Thank you, Professor. Thank you guys
Thank
for the
you.
project.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.